Hello all. If you are a NEET aspirant and preparing biology, you must have come across certain terms which looks quite similar but difficult to differentiate. So these terms are most confusing terms, and because of which we may get confused during examination and we may choose one option instead of another option. So to avoid that, we should be out of that confusion. So in this video, I am going to explain the difference between those confusing terms. So let's start. First, Renin, Rennin, quite similar. Only one letter is added. One more letter is added. N. One more N is added. The Renin, R-E-N-I-N, Renin, it's a glycoprotein which is secreted from the juxtaglomerular cells, which will convert angiotensinogen into angiotensin. That is the function of renin and kidney cells. Next, renin. It's an enzyme that is secreted in the stomach that acts on or that digests the proteins present in the milk. So milk protein like casein, it will act on milk proteins. So there is a lot of difference. Next, Ilium, Ilium. Very simple. I-L-E-U-M, I-L-I-U-M. Ilium, Ilium. The first one, I-L-E-U-M, Ilium. It's a part of small intestine. The small intestine consisting of three components: duodenum, jejunum, ileum. I-L-E-U-M, Ilium. Next, Ilium. It's a part of pelvic bones. In the pelvic region, pelvic girdle, we have a set of bones called coxal bones. Coxal bones. Each coxal bone is made up of three short bones again. Ilium, ischium, pubis. Ilium, the first one, I-L-I-U-M, Ilium. So that is a difference. Next, third one. Inulin, insulin. Only S is different. Only S is added for insulin. So inulin, insulin. Coming to inulin. Inulin is a polysaccharide. Polysaccharide means carbohydrate. Inulin is a carbohydrate, complex carbohydrate. It's a polysaccharide. Coming to insulin, it's a hormone which is secreted by the beta cells of the islets of Langerhans of the pancreas. In the pancreas, this insulin is secreted. And we know this is a hypoglycemic hormone. That means it is responsible for inhibiting the glucose levels in the blood. And coming to thorn and spine. Thorn and spines, if you observe morphologically, both are the short, needle-like pointed structures. But the basic difference is thorn is a modification of the stem, whereas the spine is a modification of a leaf. And coming to the next one, apospory and apogamy. It's very simple. Apospory means in the plantae kingdom, we will come across these two terms, apospory, apogamy. Apospory, the development of a gametophyte directly from the diploid sporophyte. So development of a diploid gametophyte from the diploid sporophyte, that is called apospory. And whereas apogamy, that means without fertilization, directly an embryo is going to be developed from the gamete. That is apogamy. So without fertilization, embryo developed. Without any meiosis or anything, that gametophyte is developed from the sporophyte. That is apospory. Direct development of gametophyte from sporophyte. Direct development of embryo from the gamete. So that is the difference. Coming to synapse and synapses. It's very interesting. Synapse, S-Y-N-A-P-S-E. Here you observe S-Y-N-A-P-S-I-S. There is a lot of difference. Many students will think that the synapses is the plural form of the synapse. That's not correct. Synapse, it's a functional space. It's a functional space between two neurons. Presynaptic neuron, postsynaptic neuron. Because of the synapse only, the two neurons are called presynaptic, postsynaptic, because synapse is a space. It's a space between two neurons. And whereas synapses, this is nothing but the pairing of homologous chromosomes during the prophase 1 of meiosis 1 cell division, synapses. Pairing of homologous chromosomes come together and aggregate, right? So that is synapses. So synapse is a space between two neurons. Synapses is the pairing of all the homologous chromosomes gathering. Coming to seventh one, chyme and chyle. Chyme is a product after the partial digestion in the stomach, whereas chyle is a product of the digestion that takes place in the intestine. So after digestion from the stomach, the product is chyme. After digestion in the intestine, the product is chyle. And coming to adaxial, abaxial. Ad means above, ab below, above the axis, below the axis. So adaxial means upper surface, abaxial means lower surface. In the leaves you will study, in the anatomy of flowering plants, leaves, monopod leaf, dipod leaf, you will come across these two terms, adaxial, abaxial. Next. So coming to the ninth one, tetany and tetanus. These two terms also quite confusing. After synapse and synapses, these are most confusing words. Tetany is a condition in which the muscular contraction is irregular. That is tetany. And tetanus is a microbial infection which is caused by a bacteria that is called Clostridium tetani. So there is a lot of difference. And this tetanus is also called lockjaw. And later it will propagate throughout the body also, tetanus. Whereas tetany is irregular muscular contraction. Next, coming to 10th, centromere and kinetochore. This is also confusing in terms of functioning. You will get confused many times. While studying cell division, you will come across this. Centromere is just a constriction. Centro means at the center. Centro means center. Mere means spherical. So which is present at the center and attaches, the two sister chromatids will be attached to this centromere. The two sister chromatids will be attached to this. So it is a constriction, primary constriction. And whereas the kinetochores will be two proteins. The kinetochores are nothing but the proteinaceous things which are attached to the centromere on either side, lies on either side. Okay, centromere, kinetochores, like that. And the spindle fibers will be attached to the kinetochore. Spindle fibers are attached to the kinetochore. Next, coming to 11th one, this is no letter is different in this. Plasmodium, but both are different. And the way we write also is different. You observe here, Plasmodium. It's a genus name, Plasmodium, which comes under protozoa. And this Plasmodium genus is mainly, it is notorious, which causes malarial disease. So Plasmodium genus, like Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax, and Plasmodium ovale. Next, Plasmodium. So coming to this Plasmodium, this is a saprophytic protista, Plasmodium. We call it slime molds. In the slime molds, whenever favorable conditions are existing, this slime molds will form a large gathering and forms into Plasmodium. That is Plasmodium. So these two are different. Next, pedicel and peduncle. It is also a most confusing term. Pedicel, peduncle. Pedicel is a stalk-like structure. Peduncle also stalk-like structure. But the pedicel, it's a stalk for only one flower. It's a stalk for one particular flower. Whereas peduncle is a stalk for entire inflorescence. Peduncle, entire inflorescence. What is meant by inflorescence? Complete set of arrangement of flowers. That is inflorescence. One particular flower, pedicel, stalk, and entire inflorescence, peduncle. Next, cofactor, coenzyme. It's very simple. And an enzyme is formed of the holoenzyme. That entire enzyme is called holoenzyme. Okay, in that protein part will be there, non-protein part will be there. Protein part is called apoenzyme, and non-protein part is called cofactors. The non-protein part is called cofactor. So protein part apoenzyme, non-protein part cofactor, and these cofactors are of three types. These cofactors are of three types. Number one, prosthetic group. Number two, coenzyme. Number three, metal ion cofactor. So this coenzyme is actually a type of cofactor. Got it? So no confusion. Cofactor is a non-protein part of enzyme, and this cofactor is of three types. Prosthetic group, which is tightly bonded to the apoenzyme, and coenzyme, second type of cofactor, coenzyme, which is loosely bonded to the apoenzyme protein part. And third type of cofactor is metal ion cofactors. Metal ions will be thymine. It is nitrogenous base in the DNA. There are nitrogenous bases are there: adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine. We know that. So it is thymine. It's a nitrogenous base in the DNA. And whereas thiamine, it is vitamin. It is a vitamin B1. B1 is also known as thiamine. Nitrogenous base and vitamin B1. Okay, next. Oospore, oosphere. Oospore is a fertilized egg. That means it's a zygote. Literally, it's a zygote. Oosphere, oospore. It's literally a fertilized egg is called oospore. Oosphere. Oosphere is large non-motile female gamete. Oosphere. Sphere means round, large, and non-motile female gamete. Large non-motile female gamete. Oosphere. Oospore. Spore, which is fertilized egg. Coming to centriole and centrosome. Centrioles are the barrel-shaped structures which are present inside centrosome, and centrosome is a cell organelle inside which the centrioles are present, and the centrioles will initiate the cell division. We know spindle fibers, so which helps in cell division. Centrioles and centrosome. Centrioles are present inside centrosome. So this is all about the confusing terms which I tried my best to explain and differentiate between the terms. So hope you understood and liked my explanation. Thank you very much.